Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to what should hopefully be a pretty chill and relaxing stream where I wanted to hop onto World of Warcraft Classic and continue my explorations in Outlands on my Night Elf Druid character that I have been playing through Outlands and a few of the recent streams that I have done, where in those recent streams I was playing in Wrath of the Lich King Classic, where today we are now in Cataclysm Classic, which means some things have changed, where there's like some leveling balancing and like experience gain balancing and stuff, where we will be leveling a little bit faster than we were in Wrath of the Lich King, and it seems like our experience, we were at like 70% of the way to level 66, and it appears we are now a single experience point away from level 66, which means once we run out of Shadowwrath City, we should be able to level up very quickly as we explore the zone that I am wanting to explore in this stream, for most of the stream at least, and that is Nagrand, potentially one of the most beautiful zones in all of World of Warcraft. But with Cataclysm, we have a new talent system and a slightly updated glyph system that I don't really mess around with too much, where I was playing as a Feral Druid, which is a like tanking DPS cat form bear form hybrid druid, which gets turned into two different specializations with Feral and Guardian and Mist of Pandaria, but it is still this kind of hybrid combination in Cataclysm. But the tree has been adjusted with like all the Cataclysm talent changes and whatnot, and all my skills down here are weird. So I had a pretty decent build going originally with Wrath of the Lich King, where I think we will probably still be able to kind of like go through all these quests like pretty easily. We just have to kind of come up with a brand new build. So I definitely want 3 points in here because this is major quality of life. And I think I want predatory strikes, and then when we come down here, that's all bear stuff. I think I want that. 50% rage. And an additional combo point. Let's do that. Let's do King of the Jungle, and then Feral Charge, because that gives us the cat pounce thing. Let's do Stampede, and then yeah, I'll just throw in Leader of the Pack. And then another Stampede, I think. So that's just straight bear form. Then perhaps, I don't know where I want to go from here. We have a few different options that we could pick. I think, maybe just Nurturing Instinct for some bonus to survivability. And then how about Brutal Impact? Why not? Then we can do Primal Madness, and then Survival Instincts. That's bear form stuff. How about that? Then we got Rend and Tear, increases damage done by Maul and Shred. Sure. And then Pulverize is only for bear form. Okay, so no to that. And then that. And then we'll throw a point into Blood in the Water and then a point into Berserk. So we need 2 more points, which means we'll get that at level 69. And then let's throw that there. And then what do I want? We have the new Wrath icon. And I think we have some new skills we can learn. So let's go down to the Terrace of Light. I think there are class trainers in the Terrace of Light in Cataclysm. I believe that's the case. So we'll be able to chat with them, and then we will be able to get our new skills, which I think there's, oh yeah, they're around here. So I'm looking for this one, the Druid trainers. There's 2 of them here. So let's just learn everything we can. Okay. And then let's go ahead, and our entire skill bar got replaced, so let's do that. I'll throw thorns up here, and then wrath is there. So then I want entangling roots probably with a nature's grasp. I'm probably never going to use soothe, but I'll throw that there. Throw that with that. I already have that there. Do I want bark skin for some survivability perhaps? Throw in a moonfire. And then down in restoration we can throw a mark of life, and then rebirth, which I don't have any seeds for actually, alongside a revive. And then I want regrowth, I think, rejuvenation. I wonder if we're going to have instant healing procs like we've had. I feel like we're not. So nourish is just like healing touch, basically. We don't learn healing touch until level 78 now, which feels very strange because you used to learn that at like level 2. Okay, cat form, cat form. So vengeance is just passive. So much. Okay. I should probably do bear form too. Let's do that first. Where bear form, we can do maul. And then, okay, I already have that. Feral charge, throw that there. Bear form skull bash. I guess I'll throw swipe there. Probably not going to use bear form too much, but then into cat form. This is what we want. So what's our main thing? Claw's kind of our main thing. This will stun the target. I don't think we use pounce really, do we? We have dash there. Okay, so claw. Ferocious bite is in. Maim is in. Probably want rake. Yeah, I think we want. Oh wait, this is an opening attack. Must be behind the target. Everything's behind the target. Okay, I'll mess around with everything, but let's go ahead and get started with exploring Nagrand as I learn how to play Druid and Cataclysm. Where I can go ahead and take the very fancy entrance or exit depending on how you view it. It's kind of like the half or glass half full, half empty type of thing. But we have this tunnel, which we can see some of these Aldor marksmen and other military and religious members going through, that will take us into Nagrand, where we can see here we now have this beautiful green area compared to the Terracar forest that we were in the last time that I was playing on this character, where I have yet to explore an area, so we can go ahead and explore one very soon. Windyreed Village, there we go, level 66. So there's not a new talent point, but we are now a little bit stronger. And I only need to get to level 67 in order to get to Shadowmoon Valley. Though with the expedited leveling process with Cataclysm Classic, I'm expecting us to be able to get through this entire leveling journey a little bit faster. But hopefully I can still explore as much of Nagrand as I want to explore. Where let's go ahead and head towards the main Alliance outpost. Where Nagrand's kind of fun because it is home to the original orcs that lived on Draenor, the last peaceful clan of them, of the Maghar, and then also to the Kurenai, who are kind of like the original Draenei of Draenor, who have become a little bit broken, and there's still some normal Draenei and stuff, and they're hanging out in this area of the world. So we can kind of engage in some diplomacy with those respective factions, depending on if you're an alliance or a horde, where as an alliance we will go ahead and help the Draenei or the Kurenai, and then if we were horde we would help Maghar. Where let's go ahead, pick this one up, and then we can also go to the Nessinwary Safari, which is going to be a very fun time for us. And then we have a recruiter over here that I guess I can go ahead and just pick up this quest, so we can go ahead and go do those quests, where we start here in Talar, which is a very beautiful area with like all these waterfalls, and like Nagrand. Wow, the lunar planet's very beautiful, and like Nagrand as a whole is just such a beautiful and gorgeous zone, and it's honestly like one of the most beautiful zones in all of World of Warcraft, where I just love being in this area, and it's so iconic and so wonderful. But when it comes to the questing experience, there are a few different quest hubs that we can find all around this map. Hello Jordan, I hope you're doing well. Where in a way this map is kind of structured where you don't see a ton of different like random NPCs all around the map, with like the exception of like this one right here. And then Atreus is kind of like a quest hub, and the Ring of Blood is also a quest hub, where we kind of have the Nessinwary Safari, and then we have Talar, and then we have the Consortium place, and then we have 3 other like smaller areas. So we kind of have like a pentagram, I guess, of quest hubs that we can see on the map. All right, let's go ahead and pick up this quest, and then let's go ahead and do kind of the initial quests for the main quest line in this map, and that is related to the Kurenai and kind of just like fighting against the ogres and other threats in this area of the world, where we can go ahead and kind of help them out and gain some experience along the way, and also gain some reputation. Where, what do I want? So Ravage, I just have to figure everything out again, where I can't forget what I was even playing in the first place, like what skills I was using. So we can just mess around with a bunch of different things, and I just saw that proc there, which was the instant healing. So your your next non-instant nature spell will be an instant cast spell and cost no mana. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh wait, I got the thing. Okay, let's go ahead and just kill this ogre because I pulled him. We have some growing pains right here. I got some obsidian war beads, and then let's go and turn this quest in, where we could kill an air elemental or 2 on the way over. Or I see one right here. So I wonder what the best technical opening strike is, because it seems like Ravage does the most. What's better here? Okay, seems like Ferocious Bite is like the damage finisher you want to use, but Maim could be good if you're like wanting to stun an enemy. So if you're fighting like a tankier enemy, you can use that finishing move to get like a little bit of a bonus. Well, then again, there's the whole idea of if they're dead, then they can't deal damage to you, so you might just want to get through it a little bit faster. Where when we were in Zangarmarsh, I did a few quests with the Kurenai, so I am now neutral with them, which is very fun because I already had some early reputation that I got there, which I did on purpose because I wanted to get all of these quests unlocked. Oh, I forgot about this quest hub all the way up there. Let's go ahead and pick this one up. So, not exactly a pentagram. Not exactly. But let's go ahead, pick up these quests as well, which we can do as we are going through this area. Where I feel like, oh, I remember this NPC has like a fun like developmental story, where I think in the beta for Outlands he had like a really weird name, and people really complained about his name, so they changed his name to be a different really weird name, which is kind of funny. Moibrufjil, or however you pronounce that, no idea. He calls himself Atreus. And then the Ravaged Caravan. And then if we come up here, we can pick up these 2 quests. Where if I picked up every single quest in the ground, which I don't think I can do because of the quest log space, we would have a ton of quest markers all around here. Especially with the ones from Nessinwary's Safari, which we can go check out soon. Which I probably won't complete, because it's just a little lengthy. Or I think the Nagrand leveling experience is like pretty solid, right? It's always like a good place to come to in order to get some quick experience. Or we could probably stay in a Grand until like level like 68 and then we could go to Northrend, but I'm wanting to spend a little bit of time in Shadowing Valley as well. So we could go over there maybe a little bit in the stream. I do kind of want to like maybe do a full like evening in Shadowing Valley. Let's get our combo points up. So I wonder what the best healing skill is to use. Okay, so that was an instant cast. Okay. So nourish, regrowth. It seems like regrowth is better than nourish. So an additional 20%, that would be like 250 more. So still kind of less good than regrowth. Okay, this means war. Okay, so we completed that quest. And where I can do the Obsidian Warbeats quest if I wanted. But I think we'll have many opportunities to get more Warbeats as we continue forward. So I'll skip that for now. Where I think once we complete this quest, we just get a repeatable like turn-in quest to get a bunch of Obsidian Warbeats that we can continuously turn in for some reputation. Where getting Exalted Reputation with the Maghar or the Kurenai allows you to get a Talbook mount, which is fun. Let's come to Momor, the Breaker, complete quest. And now we can go do those quests over there, where we can go save Corky as well, which is kind of like a fun quest chain because we save this person and then he ends up becoming imprisoned again by ogres, so we go save him, and then he becomes imprisoned again by ogres, so then we have to save him again. Right, I think let's go ahead and go over towards Nessinwary's Safari, and we could begin those quests, and we could try to get some of the air elementals around here. Or I think I would like to complete the air elemental quest, and I'm kind of interested in seeing where that quest will lead. But this is a really fun area where, if anyone was watching my stream where I went through Blade's Edge Mountains, we saw the Ring of Blood, I think, where that is like an open world arena where we have the Ring of Trials here, which is another open world arena that we could like just go into and fight if we wanted, similar to like the Guibashi arena from vanilla. But this is actually an actual arena that you can do when you do the arena activity, which is like the 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, just fight to the death, like PvP game mode that you can participate in. Where I think it's now here somewhere, Conquest, War Games. Yeah, we can see some arenas right there. I don't think these are rated though. I think these are just for fun. Where we do have Conquest in oh, this is just rated battlegrounds and arenas. Which I think Cataclysm is when that became like a really big thing. But we have Hemet Nessinwary, who we have seen in Vanilla, who then got replaced by Hemet Nessinwary Jr. in the Burning Crusade, because Hemet Nessinwary came here to Outlands. And then in the Wrath Lich King, we see him hanging out in Northrend and Shalazar Basin, and I did that full quest chain there. So let's just pick up these. And then I have this additional quest that I think is like a random spawn. So let's go ahead and just start fighting some of the Talbooks around here. So I think Ravage seems to be a good opener. And then we can just claw a bunch. And then we could end with a Ferocious Bite maybe. So maybe I'll throw Ravage right there. And these are like the three main skills I'm going to use. And then I just have some utility options. There's no new restoration skill in Cataclysm. At least like for above level 80. There's like Nourish and Oh, revitalize. Which is just revive, but for the entire group. Okay. Where I do feel like I'm doing a little bit less damage than I was. But still seems pretty solid. I do feel like I am taking more damage too. Where I am now on a brand new server because the server that I was playing on, which I think this character had been on for like 5 years, was unfortunately shutting down, which unfortunately means I lost 2 very rare names that are normally like instantly taken, which I've had for like 5 years and now I no longer have because the servers got shut down, which is unfortunate, but alas. But I am playing on a new server which should have some more people in it, but I don't think I've seen anyone yet this stream, so there's kind of that. But we'll probably see some people running around the world. Howling Wind. Oh, that's because it's a quest to go up here, which we should probably do. Yeah, it's always sad to see servers shut down, where it seems like this server is pretty decent. I haven't seen a lot of toxic people in the chat, so far at least. Yeah, Cataclysm Classic is such a weird experience, where there's actually like a decent amount of people playing, which is kind of odd. But it also seems to be like overall like a decent experience beyond the immense amount of bugs and a bunch of other issues that I talked about a lot last stream, and I'm thinking about making a video kind of related to like one of the core issues, but probably not for a couple months. I think it would be better once Cataclysm is out, where we can have that new experience. But I am wanting to do a bunch of streams in Cataclysm, not all necessarily doing Cataclysm content, but probably a good chunk that is Cataclysm. And we also have the Mr. Pandaria remix coming out, which I was wanting to check out. I wonder how long that lasts. I've also been doing a lot of dungeons recently, where I know I did that like one and only dungeon stream or whatever, but I feel like I might do a few more in the future, maybe like 3 streams, one for like Burning Crusade, one for Wrath, and one for Cataclysm, on maybe a rogue character that I've been playing, where we can go through some dungeons, potentially. But if you like come into the group finder, it's like a very broken, but like still somewhat functional. You can see all these dungeons that we could participate in if you wanted. Or I could queue for a random dungeon, where if I did that, it says an 8-minute wait time. So maybe I'll decide to do that in a little bit. Can make some progress there. I think I had a bleed on me. That's awkward. Alright, I guess what dungeons could we potentially be doing? Got Hellfire Ramparts is too low level now, but we got Blood Furnace, Slave Pins, Underbog, Manatomes, Aconite Crypts, and then the Escape from Durnhold is just above our level. I think the Nestingware expedition quests are always such like a fun experience because it's just like a lot of like fighting a bunch of mobs, especially in like vanilla and in the Burning Crusade. Like they're very like pretty like simple and like super rewarding quests, so it always feels fun in that essence. But then like Wrath Lich King, like it was such a phenomenal expansion for him and Nestingware. Like it was just, like such a fun quest chain to play through, which I played on my birthday, I think, last year. And then you also got the whole counterpart that I haven't really done and probably won't really do, where you're helping out Deda, which is like druids for like the humane treatment of animals or whatever. Where you fight Harold Lane, which we saw over there. He's the final boss of that quest chain. So he like full on dies from the druids. What events do we got going on? We have Children's Week that's going on. And I was interested in doing Outtrack Valley, but I don't think I'll be able to. Maybe I will. We'll see. Should probably go over and grab these quests. I only have space for 4 quests, so maybe I won't do that. We could continue fighting. We could do this round of him and Nestingware quests, and then we'll get a new round that we can do. And then we can go finish up the air elemental quest, perhaps. Here's an air elemental for us. We need 2 more air elemental gas to complete this quest. We also need some wind rocks. There's a rich adamantite deposit right there. This is very good, especially during the Burning Crusade. Yeah, I think these 3 skills seem to be the best ones for us. Where we can now cast Fairy Fire. We got that. Where I think I was like a ways off from being able to use it in Wrath Lich King, but it seems like I've unlocked it now. Or I guess I could throw it there because it decreases the armor value of targets, so. And it deals damage when in bear form. But then we have Maim. Where I feel like Pounce is probably not super good. I'll leave those 3 there, and I'll probably use these 8 skills a lot right now. There's Harold Lane. You know what? Let's go ahead and queue for this. What's the worst that can happen? Probably very, very bad things. But it seems like people are having an overall good time in dungeons and don't seem to be super toxic. But also Cataclysm is such like it's a lot easier to play compared to like the earlier expansions, at least from like a skill floor point of view. So like I don't feel too stressed out about like sucking in dungeons. Skill ceiling is a little bit different. Need 2 more Tau Book stags, and then we'll be done with that. No energy. Yeah, I need a ton of wind rocks. I still need 2 more gas as well. Okay. There's that. I guess we could just turn in the tablet quest while we're right here.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend. Be careful.
So then we have the new one all the way over there. And then there's a ton of wind rocks here, so let's go ahead and progress this one. And then we'll have to go finish the cliff hoofs a little. It looks like 9-minute average wait time, which it seems like it's been pretty accurate, where I know sometimes the wait times can be very inaccurate. Got Sonar and Expedition rep on my bar. For whatever reason, on like a lot of my characters when I logged in, I was like tracking Bloodsail Buccaneer's reputation on my reputation bar, which was very strange. Also, all my characters had the Hallowed title, which alongside that, I think the Jenkins title has been removed from the game, which is unfortunate, since that's the title that I like to rep on my main character. We got an air elemental down there we can go snag. So let's do that. We only need 3 more wind rocks now, which is nice. There's just so many of them right here. This is definitely the spot you want to come for wind rocks. I'm not sure if there's like a good spot for dust howlers specifically. Chance to hit with spells and abilities reduced by 15%. Oh, nothing off that one. Yeah, it seems like this build is okay. I picked decent talents. I could have pulled up like a build website to get like a decent feral leveling build. But where's the fun in that? Alright, it seems like we are going through the enemies pretty quickly and aren't struggling too much. And this feels pretty similar to how it was in Wrath of the King, where I'm getting some nice like healing procs, where I wish I had healing touch. I feel like regrowth is going to be the way to go. Nourish just didn't give me a lot right there. Let's go ahead, come attack this wind rock. Last one I need. Throw on a regrowth. Oh, I should probably buff myself. There we go. That would have been beneficial for us. Wait a second. Oh, Thorns is no longer a full buff. It's like a temporary buff. Interesting. So can we just pop that on Thorn damage to attackers and hit? So we can put it on another target. So if we like did a dungeon, we could just throw it on the tank, I guess. Can we do WoW in cat farm? That's the question. Which I guess if we ever like pop out a cat farm, we can make sure we do that. Nice, another air elemental cast. But 3 more cliff hoofs. So Thorns is off cooldown. Oh, it takes us out of cat farm. So I guess we could just like pop it on a tank, or we can pop it on ourselves whenever we are out of cat farm for like when we heal or something. did not kill the Collective. Just one more hit, maybe? 2 more hits? 3 more hits? 2 more hits. Okay, here's another Dust Howler. Maybe we can get the last air elemental gas here. Seems like our stealth works pretty well. My stealth on my rogue keeps like grabbing people's attention. But like not like their full attention. They're like, oh, I think there's someone here. So then they like look in the direction. But they don't often attack me. But it seems like nothing's really gone for me yet. Or I've been mostly fighting like yellow mobs, so we'll see when we go fight some ogres and stuff soon. Okay, completed those 2 quests. Let's go ahead and just heal up there. And then let's turn in these 2, and then we can go do the air elemental quest. And we could try to complete that, and then maybe another round of nesting weary quests.
What brings you here?
Oh, here's this person.
Greetings. Goodbye for now.
Or there's Ginkly Rotten Fist.
For the Alliance. Be careful. Go with honor.
So that's just a free bonus quest. Or whatever event happened here.
How are you?
I'm not entirely sure what the story there is. Let's head back out this way to Wazat. I must have them. So we can turn in the air elemental quest. And then I think we'll have more Kelsaro quests that we can do soon enough. I'm definitely not going to be able to get through all these quests before I like out-level this zone probably. I'm already almost halfway to level 67, or if I do /played, 28 minutes, so pretty fast leveling process. Don't forget to drink some water, everyone. And as I do that, my dungeon is ready. So I guess I haven't done any Burning Crusade dungeons on stream. So I've done, oh shoot, clicked the wrong thing. I've done some Wrath of the Lich King dungeons. Okay, so we got an Aconite Crypt one. And it's Aconite Crypts. I was thinking Auchendoon ones. So let's pick up these 2 quests. I think that's the only 2. Let's buff up our friends. And go into cat form. Where we have 2 hunters, another druid, and a paladin. Where it seems like the druid is the tank. And then we can just fight all of them. So I've done a lot of dungeons since Cataclysm released because I've just been having fun doing like the random dungeon finder while leveling. And all those dungeons have been really easy to play through. And it seems like we are chewing through that first group of enemies. I wonder what the best DPS spec in Cataclysm is. Is it Hunter? We have 2 hunters. They seem to be doing well. I'm slowed, faltered, immobilized. Let's catch up to the tank. So, Aconite Crypts. I haven't done this one in a long time. I think it's the one with the Eye of the Beholder. Is that correct? So we can just experience it as we go through. Where Auchendoon has 4 different dungeons, and each one is pretty unique from one another, but all the same vibes of kind of like, these are the areas you're going through. But one has all these like dead Janai or whatever, and then there's one that has a lot of consortium or however you pronounce the word, and then there's one that has a bunch of the Arakoa, And then what's the fourth one? Oh, one's like a bunch of like like not Twilight's Hammer. The Shadow Council. That's what they're called. And they're summoning like Murmur or whatever. Who's like this godlike deity entity creature thing from like the Twisty Nether that can like completely destroy worlds once they're like fully summoned to the world. So like he would obliterate Draenor. Or it looks like we could fight our friend here. Said run. Not sure what's going on. Seems like that just goes over. Not sure why we're running, other than just progressing through the dungeon as normal. There's 2 bosses this way. Oh wow, we've already gained a ton of experience. Run to boss. Okay. I guess we're skipping a bunch of stuff. I have no idea what's going on right now. I'm just gonna keep DPSing. And just following the tank. Well, looks like got through there okay. Oh yeah, there's the Eye of Beholder boss that I was thinking of. Where we have this really cool Bridge of Souls. Such a cool environment. I think we have to kill the Raging Souls, right? And make sure we don't get knocked back by them. Shrak, the Dead Watcher. Focused on this person. Hope Bearer Helm. It's kind of a cool looking helmet, but it's for plate wearers. So we completed that quest, and then the final boss, Exarch Maladar, who's right there. I think this is a 2 boss dungeon then. It's been such a long time since I've been through here. Okay, I tried to hit the back there, but did not work out for me. So many skeletons. What AoE do I have as a pharaoh? I have the bear like AoE attack I can do. I think these hunters are really putting in a lot of work here. need 3 necromancers and 2 skeletons. Where I don't see any necromancers, so they must be elsewhere. We're also gaining lore city reputation, which is fun. You can get tabards in Cataclysm to increase your reputation with like the main horde cities. And then that was a big thing in Rathlish Keen for a bunch of different Rathlish Keen reputations. And I think same thing with Cataclysm reputations as well. It seems like our healer wants to go, 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 go. Is this a room with necromancers? Yes, Akanai necromancers all around here. And then the final boss there. Yeah, it seems like a big trend with groups. I mean, all the time. But especially transitioning from Rathlish Kingdom to Cataclysm, it's just doing massive pulls in dungeons. Outsiders are forbidden. This random trash mob has a little bit of dialogue. But yeah, this dungeon theme is very just like undead-y or whatever. So will the quest givers come to the end? Or is that in like Mr. Pandaria? Might have to go back to the start. Just completed Akanai Crypt. Oh, that's an upgrade and a half. But I always feel bad needing on things, even if I need them. So I'll just greed. So it looks like that is not the case, unless there's an exit here. But we can teleport out of the dungeon and then teleport back in, and then we can turn in the quests. So we can turn in these 2 quests here, where we'll get no upgrades. And then we're about to level 67, which is cool. And then we need to get back through the dungeon a little bit, but we have a new talent point. I'll do blood in the water. And once we hit 69, we're going to finish the feral tree. But that is Akanai Crypts completed, where that was just actually pretty enjoyable. Overall, Cataclysm dungeon running seems to be like pretty fun and pretty fast leveling too. Or maybe I'll do another, but I think I want to explore a little bit more in the Grand. And then we could do another dungeon. Then maybe I could go to Shadowmoon Valley. I was thinking about doing Shadowmoon Valley in like another stream, but also we could just do it all here. This can be a massive stream, I guess. Lots of different things going on. Turn in this quest. I'll say TY, and then I'm going to leave instance group. Alright, let's go ahead and do this quest. And then you can try to steal the egg. Or can I just come up here and get it? Open this. To steal egg. and then we're going to have the Windrock matriarch come down at us. So then we can kill the matriarch whenever she decides to land. And then there should be a straightforward kind of like a mini boss fight. I think she's about to land. She keeps getting closer and closer and closer to the ground. She also looks just like S when we were in our flight farm. Okay, there we go. So we gained like over half a level just from that one dungeon, which is insane. But I think I'm going to just take some time to run around the Grand and just explore it a little bit so we can get our exploration achievement. And then maybe I'll queue for another dungeon. Severed talon of the matriarch.
Talk to me. Glad I could help.
And then I think I can take that one. And there's that quest complete. So yeah, when we look at Negrand, I'll come back down this way, I think. There's just a bunch of really fun quests that you can do all around here. But nothing like super interesting, I feel like. The altruist quest chain is kind of like an end game quest chain that you can really only do at like max level, and when you do a bunch of different quests and stuff to get through the quest chain as quest chains go. But I think the really like big part about questing in Negrand is how they're like pretty solid and fun quests, and there's a lot of them, and they're like pretty well concentrated, so it's just like a really fast questing experience as a whole. And then when you take into account how beautiful of a map Negrand is on top of all that, I think it just makes Negrand like a really good zone. And I think generally speaking, of course everyone has like different opinions and whatnot, Negrand is the most popular zone from the Outlands expansion. It's kind of like the standout zone of that expansion, where I think after vanilla you kind of see that with like each expansion, where there tends to be like one zone where each zone has, you know, some people that consider that zone to be their favorite, but like typically there seems to be like one zone in particular that everybody just absolutely loves, where that is Grizzly Hills and like Rathlich Keen. And then I think in Cataclysm it's either between Hyjal or the Twilight Highlands, where the other three zones aren't super popular. I guess Odom is kind of popular, but just from like the meme perspective of it, I guess. Have Merkblood invaders, and we could go ahead and fight really quickly because they drop a quest that we can go turn in. Guess I didn't have to do another claw there. Get that. And then I forget if we turn this in Talar or right where we are right in Talar. Okay. But we have this whole consortium outpost right here. Oh, this is such a cool cape skin that we got. That was a rewarding quest. Got a really cool item. Delicate green poncho. Very cool. But yeah, we have the whole appearances collection system now, which is interesting. Okay. And then we have one quest we can turn in right here. Do I have the... Oh, I don't. I was wondering if I had like hunter specific set skins, which I do not. Okay. Let's turn in this quest. That's not completed. Where all these quests are just helping out the consortium, which are like the organization of ethereals that we interact with a lot in Outlands, that are the good ethereals. Yeah, Baklor, who's like the final boss of the Talbot quest chain. We saw Tusker earlier, who's like the final boss of the entire Hemid Nessenray quest chain in this zone. have Autrus here. Where we can chat with him a lot. Oh. Did I click on the thing? I don't think I clicked on it. I'm doing the survey the quests, or survey the land quest right now, but I don't have the quest in my quest log. And I cannot get off this. So, welcome to Cataclysm Classic, I suppose. Oh wait, I think this is slightly different. I'm not sure. Oh no, we're going all the way. Okay, let's just enjoy this ride. This is such a long ride, and it seems to be bugged too. So I guess I won't chat with Autrus when we land. Stretch. Okay. But this is a pretty cool area with the portal over there, which we'll go and explore, because I need to explore for map completion or map exploration achievements. Or if you come down to explore, the Machina Crypt's completed now. I've completed a few different places here, but we have exploration, Outland. We need Negrand, which looks like I've explored Shadowman Valley on my main character. Okay, let's go unlock all of these areas. Or if I come back to the group finder, specific dungeons. So we've unlocked Set the Cause and the Escape from Durnhold. Where I don't want to do Aconite Crypts again. So I'm hoping I don't get that the next time we queue. So we have Forge Camp Fear, one of the many different Forge Camps all around this area of the world. Where it looks like our progress in exploring each of the maps that we were exploring has been reset, which is super annoying. I noticed that on so many different of my characters. That's another bug with Cataclysm Classic, is that a lot of like exploration stuff got reset. We have the Twilight Ridge here, where we have one of the portals. I was used to go to other worlds right there. And we have a bunch of these statues too, which are cool. Similar in style to like the Dark Portal, and then also the, I forget what they're called, the Altar of something or the other. Come to Azeroth, and then we go to Burning Steps, Altar of Storms, that's what they're called. There's an Altar of Storms there, and then there's an Altar of Storms in Blasted Lands, right? Yeah, there's one there too. Very iconic structures from the original Warcraft games, especially Warcraft 3, I think. Alright, let's fly down here where there's a Forge Camp that we can explore. Forge Camp Hate. Fear and Hate. And then let's just maybe loop around this way. Or if I come into the exploration right here, explore those places. So hopefully I get everything. Got Warmaw Hill, There's an area around here that I'm thinking about making a full-on video about. So I'll just leave a teaser to that for now. I don't want to share exactly what it is yet. But let's come down here, where I think this is a really fun spot because I believe a certain NPC is still here who is very relevant in the Cataclysm expansion of the game. Where over here we have this group where we have Sourfane the Younger hanging out right here, who is a pretty important lore character in Rathlishkeen because he's Varrock Sourfane's son, and then he becomes a raid boss in Icecrown Citadel when he's turned into a Death Knight by Arthas. But we got Sunspring Post there, and then let's go around this way. But the other character, which is located in Garadar, I think is the name of the town, is Garrosh Hellscream, who is the son of Grom Hellscream, and he kind of like rejoins the Horde during the Burning Crusade, and he plays a pretty big part in the Rathlishkeen expansion during the Horde's conquest of Northrend. And then of course in Cataclysm he becomes War Chief of the Horde, and then he plays a pretty big part in Mr. Pandaria, and then also a decently big part in Warlords of Draenor. I think there's something right here. Maybe it's over here, where we have another ogre base camp. Zangar Ridge. Oh, this must be Zangar Ridge right here. So let's just fly over here really quickly. I just see it on my exploration achievement page. But yeah, Oshigun is pretty fun because that is the very beautiful like crystal like mountain over there, which was the original ship that the Draenei used in order to get to Outlands, once upon a time known as Draenor, named after the Draenei. Zangar Ridge. There we go. I knew there was an area right here. This goes out right next to Sporogar. But yeah, it's an interdimensional vessel, or whatever the technical name for it is, that the Draenei used in order to get to this planet. And then of course the Draenei took one of the vessels that is around Tempest Keep, or the Eye, which is known as Exodar, and they took that to Azeroth right before the start of the Burning Crusade expansion. Got another ogre camp over here. Laughing Skull Ruins. Where this is a pretty fun area because we got Gurkthok, who is a reoccurring character alongside Woden the Troll Servant, with the Ring of Blood, where you can basically just fight a bunch of bosses and get a bunch of experience and a bunch of loot. And we see that again in Rathlishkeen, and then we see it again in Cataclysm, and then I'm not sure after that. I'm sure he shows up again. But in the hardcore version of World of Warcraft Vanilla, we actually see Gurkthok located outside of Orgrimmar and Stormwind City, and it seems like he was added like a little bit too early because there's like new content related to Gurkthok exclusively in the hardcore version of the game that seems to be in development but not fully released, where he will teleport you to like an arena where you can like fight other players and then like fight to the death or whatever because it's hardcore, which is a very interesting concept. But let's come through here where we have the Throne of the Elements, a pretty big, pretty important shaman area where I have two quests that I can go ahead and turn in right here. Got the Howling Wind, and then the Throne of the Elements I can turn in. And Defending the Wilds. I have to go to the Underbog, so maybe I'll just pick it up in case we get the Underbog dungeon. But over here we have Garadar, which is the big horde area, which I can't really explore, but for the most part, a couple of important lore characters, like the War Chief of the Bleeding Hollow clan, which is not really a clan anymore, and he's not really a War Chief, but he's here. And then we got Garrosh Hellscream, of course, who's pretty important. And then there's like a very important like matron character who's like an advisor to Thrall and some other characters that's located here. Let's go ahead and run away from that Bat Rider guard and fly this way. Where I only need 3 more areas. Southwind Cliff, I think, is right here, and then the other 2 are... Oh wait, no, Southwind Cliff is right there. But first, let's go check out Hala, because this is the final open world PvP area in the Burning Crusade, where we saw one in Hellfire, one in Zangarmarsh, and then one in Terracore Forest. Forgot the name of the zone. And now we have one in Nagrand, where this one's probably like the biggest, because it's like a massive outpost that you can attack if you don't own it. So we as an alliance can attack it because the Horde currently own it, where we can see that there are some Horde guards here, and we can basically whittle them down by bombing them, and then once they're all dead, you can go in here and you can capture the flag by standing on it. And then you can get some currency from killing players around here. And then, oh, I forgot, we got a special dungeon item here. Replace that. And then we've also been getting this Oshugun crystal powder sample, which we can turn in for some other rewards as well. Or I think that's every like big major area in Nagrand. So I think I'm gonna go ahead, go grab the last 2 locations I need, and then maybe call Nagrand good. Or I guess that's kind of really everything that I want to do. We could always do more quests, of course. I guess we could check out this abandoned armory here. Where's my keyboard? There we go. We got Nitrin, the Learned, and there's some weapons and armor and supplies and wood and some targets there. But let's go back to Talar, turn in this quest. Make sure I got the flight path, I guess. So let's turn in Merkblood Invaders. Got that. And then we could kill Ortora Merkblood. I kind of forget where he's looking. I think he's... Oh yeah, he's over there. And Sun Spring Post. And let's double check that I have this flight path here. So we can return here. Oh, I do not have it, so good thing I came and checked. Fergu, which I think I've like unlocked every flight path in Outlands. I think there is only the one in Nagrand. So we have 2 other areas. Got this cloud where if you're like an engineer, you can get some motes from the cloud, which is nice. I just love all the floating islands around this map. Just makes it a super fun map. And very, very beautiful. Kyosaro Fortress. Got that. So just 1 location left. The Burning Blade Ruins. Where there's like a kind of cool character down here. Who is a Blades Master. Which in Warcraft 3... Blade Master was my favorite hero to play as, where I liked him in Heroes of the Storm. But there's the Burning Blade Ruins explored, where we've explored Nagrand, and now technically we've explored all of Outland, but I have not yet explored on stream Shadowmoon Valley, so we can go and do that. But we can see here Lantersaur of the Blade, very cool character. So let's go ahead, maybe call Nagrand good, and let's head over towards Shadowmoon Valley, where I guess I'll go ahead and try to search for another dungeon while we do that. And then I guess I'll get rid of all these quests. I won't do all of them. But yeah, Nagrand, just fun, great zone. Beautiful zone. And probably the most popular from the Burning Crusade. Shadowmoon Valley is another kind of interesting zone, which I think is very contrasting to Nagrand, where it's one of the less popular zones in World of Warcraft. And it's pretty in its own unique way, but it's definitely like less pretty than Nagrand is, of course. And Terracar and Zangarmarsh. Torgos. Two-headed vulture. Back over the Alarian stronghold. I wonder what my favorite town in all of the Burning Crusade is. Because it might be here. It might be Honorhold and Thramar, which are kind of similar. Also like the Horde outpost here. Shadowrath, of course. I guess I like them all, really. I feel like I have a lot of nostalgia with Honorhold and the Alarian stronghold, though. Which those are two places that were built during the Warcraft 2 expansion campaign, where there is a third place in Shadowmoon Valley that we are about to explore. Already have 3 DPS found. Into Shadowmoon Valley. Got Legion Hold. Right, we have the Horde camp right here, where there's a wanted poster that we can talk to get a quest from. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's like an actual thing. Let's try to avoid the Horde right here. See if we can find the wanted poster, which is located like right here. Right below us. Oh, I'm dying. But it looks like the wonder poster is sparkling for us. Okay, let's just try to get out of here. Okay, I think we're fine. I am tagged for PvP now though, which is not good. We are taking some damage, but I think I'm fine. I just have to wait out the 5-minute PvP timer without getting attacked by a Horde player. Yeah, just a bunch of random places all around this map, kind of. Which is kind of like the story of Outlands and the Burning Crusade. Where it's like a lot of like seemingly random stories, but when you like kind of learn the overarching story with like Illidan and the Illidari, it makes a lot more sense, but it just feels random because it's like a bunch of random groups that kind of like became allies with each other because they have like a similar goal. Where we got Naga here in the middle of Shadowmoon Valley, where of course we have Zangarmarsh, which is a very Naga-centric map. But Shadowmoon Valley is like one of the 2 ending zones where I could have actually gone and pick up a quest to come here, I think. But whatever. So let's pull up our Explore Shadowmoon Valley, where there's not too many places we need to explore. Come over here to the Altar of the Shatar. Can pick up this flight path. You just need a heat. Oh, there we go. So we can continue exploring Shadowmoon Valley after we do this next dungeon. I guess we made it here to the Altar of the Shatar. Commander Arcus. Ooh, is this Blood Furnace? Or is... No, this is going to be Shattered Hellfire Ramparts. What the... Okay, let's pick up these 3 quests. Buff up everyone. So this is a level 61 dungeon where we have a level 60, a level 59, a level 62, and a level 59, and we are 67. So that's kind of interesting. But Hellfire Ramparts is probably the most nostalgic dungeon for me from the Burning Crusade, because it's like the first dungeon you really do in this expansion, and it's like a pretty solid, fun dungeon. But I also have a lot of memories from when I was like 8, where I was like watching my mom play World of Warcraft, and I remember her doing this dungeon a lot. But I think there's 3 total bosses. Yeah, there are. Now, it seems like hunters are very good, because they, I mean, we're dealing quite a bit of damage with this group, but I think the hunters did like significantly more damage than what we were even doing here. I'm like not super well geared, and I don't have like a very good build going, so even though I'm level 67, I'm probably not contributing as much as I should be. Hey, love to see the stream. Hello, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. Was about to fall asleep, but have to say I think the Grand is the most beautiful zone. It is definitely one of my favorite zones in all World of Warcraft. It's definitely very beautiful. Though I do have to say, I think like some Wrath of the Lich King zones might beat it out for me a little bit. Like Nagrand is so unique and beautiful, like Howling Fjord and Grizzly Hills especially. I think collectively they're like my top 5 zones, and it's hard to rank like one, for me at least, to be the best. Or from the Burning Crusade, hands down, Nagrand is the most beautiful zone. And I feel like it's more beautiful than any Cataclysm zone. I think some Mist of Pandaria zones are like relatively pretty, but Nagrand is very special. I guess you could always compare it to Warlords of Draenor Nagrand as well, which is very similar in vibes. And another pretty zone. Though I haven't explored that zone a lot. I should probably do. We're getting honor hold reputation here. Alright. I gained like almost half of a, like halfway too friendly with the lower city from that earlier dungeon. Okay, they're all dead. I'm just letting these players get all the Hellfire supplies, and then I'll go ahead and grab whatever's left. Enjoy your grind, King. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for checking in. And I hope you sleep well. I was planning on just doing a bunch of new grand questing in this stream, but then I thought I kind of just want to explore a bunch of like Outlands as a whole and do some dungeons. So I'm just flying around and queuing for dungeons right now. Got my Grand Explorer achievement, so I explored every nook and cranny of that zone. Guess I'll grab the supplies since I'm here.
It's too far away.
Pulling them far back. Do the Hellfire supplies continue up into the next area?
I'm gonna enjoy this.
I'm going to enjoy this. Oh, that was a lot. Let's try to kill some of the trash. Where's this dude? Ravager? Or Ravener? Ravener? I have no idea what that word is, I'm gonna be completely honest. How many times have I done Hellfire Ramparts in my life? Probably like 50. Which I feel like is not a lot. Just making sure I hit greed there. Let's grab this Hellfire supplies just so we finish the quest. Did I loot him? Oh, I did get Gargamel's hand. Oh, you can move this? Oh wait, what? I don't know what happened. Okay. I moved it off my screen or something. But you can rotate him. Okay, so I have bears the mark of the Shattered Hand. So I got that, and then we need Omor's hoof and Azan's head. Alright, this is like a pretty small dungeon geographically. Where you can kind of, like the dungeon is kind of like a spiral, like especially right here. So, and it's like 2 levels, so it's like a little bit longer than it looks. But it's still like, even still, it's like a short dungeon too. I remember this spot being tricky, like in the Burning Crusade. Like I feel like I have a memory of wiping on this trash right here, because like they're pretty close together, so you can accidentally pull a lot. And then unlike in Cataclysm, you can't pull like a ton of groups at the same time. Just green on both of those. Oh, looks like there is more supplies up here too. Oh. He shouted me out of stealth, I think. So this is like the technical final boss. So hopefully people don't leave after we kill him, so we can go kill the other boss too. Just obliterated that guy. There's like a mechanic where you have to spread here, right? He like summons imps or something? I forget. We're probably just gonna blow him up though. And he's dead. So, oh, we did not get, so that's not the end of the dungeon. But we did get the achievement for Hellfire Ramparts. I've done Mana Tombs, Sethek Halls, Underbog, and Blood Furnace before, not on this character or on stream, but like in the classic version of the game. I've done every single one back in retail. But I just wasn't super into dungeons up until recently. I like really gotten in the mood to do dungeons. And like people aren't being super toxic, which is nice. Hellfire Sentries, and then we got the final boss, which is like two bosses in one, because you like fight the dragon and then you also fight him. These guys are level 58 and 57, so they don't even give experience to me.
You have faced many challenges. Pity they were all in vain. Soon your people will kneel to my lord.
Let's fight this guy. This dude drops like one of the best items in all World of Warcraft. The polearm that he's wielding. Now we can kill the dragon. And it is on's head. And I think there's like a chest. Yeah, there's this chest here for the final loot. So cloth and mail pants. I'll just greed on both. Then we can go turn in these two quests. And that is Hellfire Ramparts complete. Pretty straightforward. Pretty simple. Pretty easy. And pretty fun. I enjoy this dungeon a lot. I completed all three. Advanced Scout Chadwick. So War on the Ramparts, and then these are upgraded boots, which is nice. And then we got the Satchel of Helpful Goods, where we got gloves that are not better than what we have. These are Spellcaster gloves. Hellfire Supplies, and there we go, almost level 68. And then leave this group back to Shadowmoon Valley. Right, we have the Altar of the Shatar with Commander Arcus, and then we have this Flymaster here, which I don't think we can talk to because we have not pledged allegiance to the Aldor. But we can continue this way, where we have the second to final raid in the Burning Crusade, which is the Black Temple, also originally known as Karabor, I think, where I enjoyed this raid a lot, and I kind of want to do a nostalgia trip through this raid at some point. Have Ziri, and a bunch of Autor and Scryers all around here once they load in. There they are, fighting the servants of Illidan. Talk to Ziri. The light surrounding Ziri pulses blue. The Naru welcomes you as an ally in the field of battle. Alright, let's just fly up here really quickly. There's some Dreadlords, some assassins, and then we have the side entrance, which is over there, I think, or right there. through the sewers, which is the main entrance into the Black Temple raid. Or of course you have the main entrance right here. When do I get to explore it? Or do we have to explore like each half? So we have this area up here where there's a lot of blood elves, ruins of Karabor. There we go. The AC just kicked on and it's super loud. So we come into explore Outlands and then explore Shadow Moon. I think that's all we need. Alright, let's come around this way where we have Dragon Maw Fortress. And I guess that's cue for another dungeon perhaps. Still the same. I'm surprised I got Hellfire Ramparts. But I guess that's like the first group that it put me in. So 8 minute waits, Dragon Maw Fortress with a bunch of Netherwing. Which the Dragon Maws are pretty interesting because they play a big part in the Cataclysm expansion, as does one of the dwarves we're going to meet soon. Where the Dragon Maw are like one of the big factions that Horde players will interact with in the Cataclysm. Got Dragon Maw Skyway. And then Netherwing Ledge. Where this is kind of another example of how the Burning Crusade does like in-game open world content very well, because this is a pretty fun and rewarding like open world in-game reputation daily questing hub area, etc, etc. We got this is a really fun spot right here where we got Overlord Morgor, who's the leader of the Dragon Maw Orcs and Outlands, and he dies or whatever at the end of the questing. Spoilers. But we also got Movrik, which is fun, and Ikman, who are from Otrak Valley, and you can like race them alongside these 3 orcs here, and then also the Broken Draenei. Yeah, this is like a completely unique area just by itself off the edge of Shadowmoon Valley. Alright, let's go back into the main area of Shadowmoon Valley. Netherwing fields. A bunch of Netherwing drakes up in the sky. I think there's like one massive Netherwing drake that flies up here as well. Yeah, we got the, I forget the name of the volcano, the Hand of Godan or something. Which this volcano was not originally here in Shadowmoon Valley until Godan pulled it up from the earth. Sanctum of the Stars, Commander Hob. I have a lot of nostalgia with this character because I have a World of Warcraft trading card game from back before Hearthstone existed, where they made that trading card game, where I have his card, as well as a bunch of other cards. Come over here and grab this really quickly, where I have a very minor memory of this area, where I think if we like go into stealth here and then come down here, we have some Noru, because remember the Ash Tongue Deathsworn, and then we have a Portcullis here. And nobody in here. Or I feel like Akama, who is a very important Draenei, was located in there. We do have this area right here that we can swim through. Where does this lead us? Some more Ash Tongue Deathsworn. Oh, Akama. Too many of my people I'm known as a traitor, as Eladin's lapdog. It is best that they continue to think that for now. And then Maeve Shadow Song, a very important character from Warcraft 3 and from the book that kind of explains the events of Outlands. It's a very fun kind of like random area here in Shadowmoon Valley. Or not super random, I guess, given the story going on. Just two like pretty big lore characters. You just need just a healer for this dungeon. And let's get out of here. I think I'm gonna need to stealth my way back out. Caught the attention of the Dread Warden, but we are fine. And then we have another area way over yonder that we can grab that I missed. We're now neutral with the Ash-Tongue Deathsworn, who I think is like the raid reputation for the Black Temple. The elite of the Broken Tribe, known as the Ash-Tongue, officially aligned with Eladin, the Deathsworn Akama's most trusted lieutenants, and are privy to their leader's mysterious motivations. Got the Hand of Godan. Alright, this is a Ash-Tongue area right here, the ruins of Bahari, or however you pronounce that. But I was right, the Hand of Godan is the name of the volcano, where we have a kind of cool area down here that I'll fly around to. And 3 more areas left to explore. Corruptor of Fire. Ooh, Laru. Couldn't hope to imagine how I would pronounce that name. But here we have a bunch of spirits of the past, and then we have this Shade of Godan, one of the most evil orcs in all of World of Warcraft, with these really interesting looking statues that look like goblin statues almost. I guess they're kind of human statues, but with a bunch of skulls. Where the Skull of Sargeras is a pretty important artifact item. Where's the Skull of Godan? Hold on. Oh wait, it is the Skull of Godan that Illidan picks up. Yeah. I don't know why. The Skull of Godan, and is found in the Tomb of Sargeras. But a very fun part about Shadowmoon Valley is there's a whole quest chain related to Taron Gorefiend, who is the first ever Death Knight, which is really, really cool. As someone who enjoys Death Knights a lot, it was fun to kind of experience that quest, where there's not really too much going on with him, and you kind of just like learn a little bit more about who he is as a character, because he's a pretty important character in Warcraft 2. But let's go over to the main base camp for the Alliance in Shadowmoon Valley, which is Wildhammer Stronghold, which this is a really cool spot that I like a lot, and it's like the Dwarven Stronghold in Outlands. And of course it was built during Warcraft 2, where we can see that there are a ton of dwarves all around here. Got all these Wildhammer defenders. But if I can find Wanted Hogger, this wanted poster, it doesn't actually have the quest, but it's like showing me the Wanted Hogger quest that we could pick up in Elwyn Forest down there. But we got this Flight Master right here.
What can I do for you?
Zorus, the Judicator. Put on your knee pads. What's this quest for? Oh, kill 20 Shadowmoon Valley wildlife. We can enter this dungeon. So let's do that, and then we can finish exploring this area. And the last spot we need in Outlands, where I think a certain NPC that I'm looking for is down here. We're up. We are in the Coilfing Reservoir, where we are in the Slave Pins, where I think I had a quest to come to. Oh, that was for the Underbog. But I can go pick up these 2 quests, and then this one, and then let's buff our party, and let's start fighting. Where it looks like we have another Feral Druid with us, and then we have a Death Knight tank, and then we have a Dwarf Paladin, I think is a Red Paladin, or a Prot Paladin, I'm not sure. Do we have 2 tanks? And then we got what looks like a Restoration Shaman, which is fun. And we are gaining Cenarian Expedition experience, which is also fun. Especially us as a druid. And we're about to level up to level 68. There we go. Level 68 reached, which means we can go to Northrend now and start doing Ratlishkin content. This is also another kind of low level dungeon for us to be doing. But I haven't done it yet, so I'm not complaining. Looks like our tank almost died there, but our healer saved him just in time. Yeah. Cataclysm balance, you just deal a ton of damage to these low level dungeons. But when you start doing Cataclysm heroics, it becomes a lot more difficult. Yeah, Coilfing Reservoir is kind of fun because it's like a lot of underground stuff and like very like kind of wet atmospheres because you're under a giant river or lake or whatever in Zangarmarsh, and related to the Naga, where I think there's 3 dungeons here, where 2 are very much like Naga based and another is like kind of plant based, like a lot of like the native fauna of Zangarmarsh. I mean, there's like some plant stuff in like both dungeons, I think, especially a little bit in here. Or animal stuff, I guess. Got some bog shocks, flora and fauna, similar but very, very different. Scrums of Lothar. It's an interesting go name. Nexus Strider Helmet of the Bear. It's a cool looking helmet. First boss, Minu the Betrayer. Alright, what are the quests? Kill Minu the Betrayer, Naturalist Bite discovered, Weeder Green Thumb discovered, and then the Heart of the Matter, the Invader's Claw, and the Slave Master's Eye. Let's see if we read on that. Spellfire Longsword. Take greed on that. Our Paladin Road. We inspect talents. Road protection, but they're playing tank, I think. I was like messing around a little bit with Prot Pally, and they actually deal quite a bit of damage. Even though they're like a tanking spec. It looks like there's 3 bosses in this dungeon. This is another dungeon that I have a lot of nostalgia doing from Wrathless Keen, where I remember like making my Night of Death Knight and then joining a group to come do this dungeon. And I think this is like, maybe it's the first dungeon I've ever done in World of Warcraft, actually, now that I think about it. That must not be the case. I must have done like Dead Mines or something at some point. Stockades. It's the first one I have a big memory of doing. I can't remember Blackfell and Deeps, but it's like so long ago that like it kind of all blends together, so I can't say for certain what the first dungeon I ever did in WoW is, but this might be it. You have this kind of unique part where you have to drop down into the water here, and you leave that area behind. This one person for this quest. Order Green Thumb discovered, and I think the last person is in like the final area of the dungeon. Let's try to catch up with our friend here. We have a Worgen Druid here alongside us, being a 9-elf Druid, which is fun. Oh, so we can use Ravage when we use Feral Charge even if we're not in stealth. That's fun. I didn't realize that. But yeah, this is how we get back to the start if you wanted to run there. In the final area. Okay, now we got Rockmar, Crackler, where we can get the Invader's Claw. That's so nice to know now. Yeah, Feral Druid and Cataclysm seems to be pretty good. Oh, we should kill the healer first. That would be a smart idea. A good sound strategy. Figured I could work that. I should probably get a stun break somewhere. It would be nice. Definitely don't want to get feared into like a group of enemies that gets pulled and then we wipe, which doesn't seem very likely that we would wipe from that in Cataclysm, but still. Enchantress. We're almost at the end of this dungeon. We killed 2 out of 3 of the bosses. I did pick up the one thing I need, right? I did, okay. The Invader's Claw. I feel like we kind of have 2 tanks here. Inspect. Talents. Yeah, so Blood and Cataclysm is like the tank spec. Because I realize this paladin is like taking a lot of threat. Which honestly, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, both blood DKs and pallies deal like a ton of damage. There's that quest complete. So all that's left is the final boss, Quagmirian. Oh, these people are here. He's gonna wander up out of here. And got pulled. And DPS him down. Wish he's gonna get obliterated. And then we can TP out of here and TP back to the entrance. So we can turn in the quests a little bit faster. There's the slave pins completed. It's actually kind of decent. Outer screen. Okay. Got this. Hopefully the last person rolls on it. We'll see if we win it. I should just need on it, you know. The healer did not roll on it. Okay. Let's teleport out of dungeon. I'm going to teleport back to the dungeon so we can turn in this. Alright, it's these. We have 3 quests to turn in. Should take us like halfway to 69. Over halfway, it looks like. Have this new wrist, I guess. Turn in that. And then let's bail. Leave instance group. And then let's explore the last little bit of Shadowmoon Valley. We're 64% of the way to level 69. I think if we drop down here, we have Kurd and Wildhammer, who's a pretty important lore character. It's fun to see him there. Especially in Cataclysm, because he returns to Azeroth in the Cataclysm expansion and plays a big part in the Twilight Highlands zone with a bunch of Wildhammer dwarves, of course. Which we'll be interacting with them soon enough. But I think we only have one area left to explore in Shadowmoon Valley. So let's go ahead and fly over there. And then we'll get that achievement, which I technically already have because I have it on another character. But we have Illidari Point right here. And there's Explore Shadowmoon Valley completed. So we've done all that. So now we can explore Northrend, where I have all the achievements except for Storm Peaks and Zuldrak. So maybe I'll go do those two. But let's go ahead. This is a safe spot. Fly back to Shatrath City. Because I think I'm done exploring Outlands, where I'll probably do another dungeon stream in the future. Maybe I'll do another dungeon before I end stream here, or I could do a Wrath Lich King dungeon potentially, where we only have Utgard Keep, so we can really only do another Burning Crusade dungeon. But let's go ahead, take a moment before we queue up. To come back down here, and let's go to the Druid Trainer really quickly, and then it might be worth my time to go chat with a merchant so I can sell some stuff. Yeah, overall Outlands is just a fun zone, and I love it a lot. Or a fun continent. Tranquility, never gonna use that. We only have one more restoration skill we can unlock in the game, and 10 levels at level 78 we'll get healing touch. I love the Sunwell Plateau diorama right there. Now let's go ahead and return to Stormwind, where I can go to the Flight Master, which is where the new flying trainer is in the Cataclysm version of Stormwind, and we can go ahead and unlock flying in both Northrend and in Azeroth, where we're gonna have to ride our tiger over there. And maybe I'll set my Hearthstone to this spot while I'm here, to Stormwind. Since Stormwind is like the main hub for the Alliance and Cataclysm, and Orgrimmar is the main hub for the Horde and Cataclysm, since all the Cataclysm zones are in the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, and then Deepholm, but Stormwind and Orgrimmar have like the portal hubs where you can take a portal to each of the 5 Cataclysm zones, which can take you all around the world. Heroes called Northrend. Guess we can pick this up to report to Borean Tundra. Let's go up here. And we have our flying trainer right here. So let's get cold weather flying for 450 gold and a flight master's license for 225 gold. And we can now fly around Stormwind, where we have the loading screen or character selection screen right here, where Deathwing hung out at. And we can fly towards the park. And then let's go to Stormwind Harbor and head over towards Outland, or to Northrend, where I might just fly. I do a quick fly through Northrend. I guess we could go say hi to Grizzly Hills, because that's kind of like the other zone in contention for one of the most beautiful zones in all of World of Warcraft. I guess we could take a sneak peek at Hollingford as well. But here is the old barracks at the park, where this is actually has a couple quests for like getting into Twilight Highlands, I believe, but we'll mess around with that later. Where it is definitely sad to see the park destroyed, especially as like a Tauren character or a Night Elf character and a Druid character. It's kind of like our home there. The Assurance. Where we could just take the portal here to Borean Tundra if we want.
What can I do for you?
So I'll take the ship to Valiant's Keep. It'll teleport us straight there, even though the boat was leaving. We have the new loading screen art for Wrath Lich King there. Let's go ahead. Where's the Flight Master here? Allies in Delaran. Oh, we can just fly straight to Delaran now. Where is the... Is it this guy? Oh, I like to travel by air. So we have unlocked Delaran, and we have Valgard Point unlocked as well. So I guess let's turn in this quest really quickly. Complete that. And then we can do, you know, those quests, but I think I'll skip that for now. Griffin Master, and let's travel to... Maybe let's pick this quest up. Just travel to Delaran. Where I think I'm gonna go use the bathroom while we fly, so we'll have this scenic view, and I'll be right back. I'm back. We're in Dragonblight. Got the Wrathgate up there, where I've explored a lot of Northrend on streams, and I feel pretty content with all my explorations, where I'll fly around, explore these areas, so I can get the Explorer achievement probably. Actually, if you look here, explore Northrend, we'll have those two. And then we'll just have to explore the Cataclysm zones. And we'll get the Tabard of the Explorer. Oh wait, we'll get that from Northrend. That's cool, okay. And then we'll get Road Explorer with Cataclysm to get the title. Which I feel like is a good title for me because I just love exploring locations in games. But I need Storm Peaks and Zuldrak, so I guess we can just fly over the Storm Peaks and then into Zuldrak, and then we could finish up with some Grizzly Hills and Howling Ford, because I think those two zones are in contention for Nagrand, for being some of the most beautiful zones in all World of Warcraft, which is kind of a theme I wanted to highlight with this stream. But we can also queue for a Burning Crusade dungeon as well, which I'll do in a moment. Let's just go turn in the Allies and Delarian quest, where I've completed 3 streams so far. Hellfire Ramparts, the Slay Pins, and then Auchenai Crypts earlier. Crassus is landing, or I think Crassus is dead now, right? Wow, Crassus. Coriostris. He dies during Thrall, Twilight of the Aspects. It looks like. Anyways, let's go turn in this quest. The Innkeeper over here is Samari Fairwind. I've always wondered if she's related to Flynn Fairwind, actually. Is Sarami Fairwind. Wow. She's on the Broken Shore. Nothing about her relationship to one Flynn, but got that. And let's head over to the Storm Peaks and begin exploring all of these areas for the achievements, and then let's go ahead and queue up for another Burning Crusade dungeon, where we could queue specifically for Utgard Keep if we wanted to, but I think I'll skip that for now. Where we can no longer get Hellfire Ramparts, but we could get Slay Pins and Auchenai Crypts again, where I'm hoping we'll get Blood Furnace, Underbog, Mana Tombs. I'm not hoping we get the Escape from Durnhold because I want to do that in the future separately, but we could get Sethikovs, which would be nice, so let's find that. And then 19-minute wait. It's getting late. I leveled up to level 68 too from the last dungeon. We should press /played. 24 minutes and we're already almost level 69. It's just such, it just levels so fast. Cataclysm. But we need to explore the Frosthold. So let's come up here and get this flight path as well. Which I guess I don't really need the flight paths. But I might do some questing through here at some point just to level this character. Because I think after this stream, I'm going to be done with this character until I start doing Cataclysm stuff. So I need to get to like at least level 78. Where I want to do some dungeon streams in the future, but maybe on my Worgen Rogue that I've been playing in the pre-patch. And then after I do all those dungeon streams, I might do like 1 or 2 final dungeon streams on like a max level character, just going through all the dungeons that I missed, just to explore them. And then of course I'll have the raids to do as well. Got the Temple of the Storms that I can get. Just got Valkyrian. Got that, okay. Yeah, I've explored most of the Storm Peaks on my other characters. Not all the questing experience, of course, because I don't want to complete every single quest in the game. Because I kind of did that already on my own. I do love this giant statue over here. Or like golem monster type of thing. Where I think like during the quest, like he's completed and then he starts walking around. And he's like no longer a statue here. It's like a very cool example of phasing. Because they started to incorporate phasing with Wrath Lich King. And it became a very big part of Cataclysm and Mist of Pandaria. And then future versions of the game as well. Nidavellir. How you pronounce that? I always try to pronounce these fantasy names. And I'm so bad at pronunciations in general. And then I'm trying to pronounce like these very intricate fantasy names. And it just never works out for me. Boulder Crag's Refuge. And then of course the also famous ODR over here. One of the most popular raids in all World of Warcraft. Beloved in both the original Wrath Lich King and in the classic version. Though slightly less popular in the classic version. Where I think a lot of people kind of have a more negative view of the Wrath of the Lich King expansion now that it's gone through like the classic experience again, just because of like how classic was. But ODR, very, very cool. And there's 2 dungeons here as well. Have this cool area right here with Chester Copper Pot. Can repair that. And then Flight Master. Here you can see the main entrance to ODR all the way up there, but I'll probably explore that in another stream. Where for flight paths, I have this flight path down here that I can get, but I don't think I can until I get enough reputation, which I don't think I'll be able to do without doing the quests, which I don't think I'm going to do. You have this broken Zeppelin, or crashed Zeppelin up there, which I always love crashed Zeppelins in World of Warcraft for whatever reason. I also got like the Iron Dwarf Mo machines, similar to the Dark Iron Dwarf Mo machines. But yeah, the Zangarmarsh crash site. It's one of the horde camps in this zone. You have a tank and 3 DPS, you just need a healer. So it looks like if you're wanting a level 3 dungeons quickly, just play a healer. You'll probably get insta Qs. War Song Hold Grunts. There's an Orc Shaman hanging out there. I love this area over here. It's so cool looking. This giant pit where you can find like Brand Bronzebeard at the bottom during a quest, and then you like fly up with this flying machine back to the Frostwood. Engine of the Makers, which there's like places very similar to this around the Storm Peaks, because it's a very ODR heavy zone, and I'm excited to see how this will be when we return here in The Last Titan. I remember doing all the quests around here pretty recently on my Draenei Shaman. Good times, good times. I just enjoy running through these old zones. It's like so nostalgia inducing. Got a dwarf death knight down there fighting these question mark enemies, which I think they're like level 77, but since we're 68, they're definitely way stronger than us. You know what would be horrible is if I saw the time lost proto drake, because you know I've spent like 15 years trying to find it, never found it. Like not actively 15 years, you know, probably a combined like 10 hours when you, at the end of the day, when you think about it. So I need Thunderfall, Temple of Life, Garm's Bane, and Dun Nephilim, which I think 3 of those are over here, and then Garm's Bane is right there. So let's talk to Skizzle Slickside right here, Flagmaster. Got that, and then let's go this way. But our dungeon is ready, so let's enter that. Got Grimes right there. And then we can do this dungeon and then continue exploring afterwards. We might get Garm's Bane before we're inside the dungeon, or Garm. Oh, another. We got the Blood Furnace, very nice. Yet another brand new dungeon. We got Gunny here, Heart of Rage, Make Them Bleed, and the Breaker. Here we got a Restoration Druid, I think, and then a Worgen Warrior tank, and then a Worgen Mage, and then a Worgen Rogue. So 3 Worgens and 2 Night Elves. Which Night Elves and Worgens are kind of similar in vibes. So we should be able to get through this dungeon pretty easily. I remember doing this dungeon multiple times actually recently, both in Retail WoW and in Classic. Let's try to catch up to our friends here. I'll probably get close to level 70 from this dungeon, which is nice. That's kind of that's a generic-ish looking helmet. I thought it looked cooler at first glance, and then I took a closer look. Loktar Eladari Victory, or Eladari Victory, or something along those lines. It's kind of funny that we have like the Loktar from the Orcish language, and then you're incorporating the Eladari because they are members of the Eladari. Oh, we won that hat. That's fun. Ooh, Cloak of Entropy, a blue BOE. Probably not any amount of value in Cataclysm. I'm always surprised by how valuable like random BOEs are. I think this is another, 3 boss dungeon. Got the Maker right there. Got stunned. Try to kill that orc. I'll kill this orc. And can fight the boss. I'm kind of in like focus mode for whatever reason. Oh my god, the boss is already dead.
Stay away
Insane. Did he say, stay away from me as he was dying? How much rep do we get? 55 with honor hold. I think we would get more if we had a tabard up. Got the fill, infusion rod. I had a very hard time targeting that warlock for whatever reason. We got Mactheridon, taunting Illidan, which is a very cool part of this dungeon that we'll see in just a moment. Or Mactheridon, of course, is an important lore character from Warcraft 3, from the expansion. For the, what is it, the Blood Elf campaign, I think? Because during the Blood Elf campaign, you come to Outland and you're kind of like doing the early foundations of the Illidari and the Outlands, which then evolves over the 4 years as they take more and more control of the Outlands. We got all of the blood vials, so we got everything we need to pick up. We just need to kill Keladin the Breaker, and then we need to fully explore the Blood Furnace. Now we have another Eye Beholder boss, Brogok, that we can fight and absolutely obliterate. And we're just pulling them through the dungeon as we progress to the end. Well, these are quite nice, but are caster based, and I think would ultimately be a downgrade for us. And the healer needed on it. And won it with a roll of 6. Luckily no one went up against him. I just got attacked and stuff. So obliterate this dude. There he goes. He drops so much gold. I guess not a ton of gold really. But here is the final area where we can see the star pattern here, and then if you look down, you got Mactheridon right there. So we fully explored that, so we just need to kill Keladin here. It's kind of funny. Kill Illidan, Keladin. This boss here. Kellydan.
What have you done? You ruined everything.
Do you have to run away here? Yeah, we do. Blood Furnace completed. Bunch of nice upgrades for the healer here. And we leveled up to level 69, which is nice. Alright, let's go ahead, teleport out of dungeon. And then we can teleport back into the dungeon. And then we can go ahead and turn in these quests.
No. Keep your feet on the ground. Be good. Keep your feet on the ground.
Get that.
Safe travel.
The breaker. And then
See you soon.
I think that's all. And let's go ahead and leave instance group. And that is the blood furnace, which is pretty fun. I enjoy that dungeon. It went by really quickly. Where I think that might be the last dungeon that I do tonight. But also, we just got Berserk. Which I feel like is not good for us at all. This is just a bear ability. Oh wait. Energy cost of all your account form ability. Okay, so it does work. Oh yeah, I remember Berserk. Okay, let's come into here where I wanted Tiger's Fury. I did not have that. So let's throw that there, and then where's Berserk? Yeah, let's start probably alphabetical order, right? Yeah, Berserk, throw that there. No, that. Okay, there we go. So let's just explore the final few areas that we need here in the Storm Peaks, and then go down to Zuldrak and do the same. Where I'm kind of tempted to queue for another dungeon, if I'm being a little honest, because I was enjoying it. Where we have unlocked 4 additional dungeons now. Opening of the Dark Portal, Shadow Labyrinth, Shattered Halls, and the Steam Vault. And we could do a random Lich King dungeon now as well. Which we can no longer queue for a random Outlands dungeon for some reason. So I guess we will not be doing Outlands dungeons. But we could queue for a card keep. Oh, why is this happening? Back, Dungeon Finder. I feel like this is so broken. Like I could just select any of these dungeons. Okay. Got Dun Nephilim. Wish I am not allied with the Sons of Holder at all, so I'm going to ignore them. Wish there are 2 areas left to get. We have another Horde base camp up here where we can get a flight path if we were a member of the Horde at Camp Tunkalo, which is like the final big Tonka outpost in Northrend for Horde players, where you don't really interact with the Tonka as a member of the Alliance. Camp Tunkalo, and we got Plane of Echoes, and we got the Temple of Life here. So we just have one final area left to get in the Storm Peaks, and that is Thunderfall. Where I feel like I've explored all the Storm Peaks before in Classic, but I guess I have not since I don't have the achievement. But we have this really cool area here that is the site of a massive battle between like the Frost Giants and the Frost Dwarves, which we can see. And then the leader of the Frost Giants or whatever like blew like the magical horn thingy that like froze everyone and kind of ended the battle. And we can see the epicenter of that blast right here, which is really cool. But with that, we have explored the Storm Peaks. So next we have Zuldrak, which is the final zone that I have not explored for my exploration achievement, so we can go ahead and grab that, which I think will be even faster than the Storm Peaks because it looks like it's a little shorter. I think the dungeon or the entire zone is a little bit smaller than Storm Peaks, so let's go over that way. Or I did want to maybe another time. Maybe I'll throw it in a video. I kind of want to go into like one of the side gears in the mountains or whatever, but I'll save that for another time. So let's go past Fjorn's Anvil here. Let's go over towards Gundrak. There's Fjorn. And then we can see Gundrak here. Big troll place. Which I was thinking about doing like a troll-centric stream, kind of exploring a lot of like troll culture and stuff, and like the dungeons and raids. Maybe Gundrak would be a good candidate for that. But I also might not do that, because I might do like Zulfrak in my Season of Discovery Let's Play series and kind of just highlight that dungeon there. We're now in Zuldrak. Did I say Zuldrak earlier? I meant Zulfrak. Got that connected. Alright, we don't know any fly paths connected to this one. Now let's get Gundrak over here. The second of 2 dungeons in this map, where we can actually see the level of these enemies here, which is nice. Also got the Satchel of Helpful Goods, got a Kali, and then let's start flying this way. Turbulent Necklace of the Bandits. So minus attack power and some critical strike damage, but increased agility and stamina. But the item level is lower, which leads me to believe it's just not better, but it could be better. I don't know. I think I'll just not equip it. I think we're gonna have to do a little bit of like back and forth stuff in this map. Ultra Mamtoth. Let's just fly around this way. Where we'll have the Amphitheater of Anguish, which is very similar to whatever the place in the Grand is called. The Ring of Trials. The Ring of Blood. So kind of that similar thing that I was talking about earlier. Altar of Runok. You can see the spirit of Runok here. Now the storyline with all the spirits and the Loa in this map are very sad. Where the Drakari are trying to the Drakari keeping my body close to death up in the altar building. They cannot see my spirit though. We must work together to prevent them from getting my power. Where the Drakari are beset by the Scourge and they're desperately trying to defend their kingdom. Where they're like one of the weaker troll kingdoms, I think. At least at their height in comparison to other troll kingdoms' heights. Where they are trying to sacrifice their Loa so that they can become more powerful to defeat the Scourge, but it's not working out for them. And I think in the modern version of Wrath of the Lich King, the Scourge completely annihilated the entirety of the Drakari population, and Zuldrak is like completely annihilated, and like the Arching Crusade is just working to clean up the Scourge, and then any Drakari that are still aggressive towards the Arching Crusade and the forces of the Alliance and Horde and other factions. Prophet of Seratus, with the power of the wild gods burning in our veins, none, not even the Lich King, can stand in our way. But during the questing experience, which we explored a little bit on my human warrior, I think, we can indeed stand in their way. I think we're already like halfway done with Zuldrak. Oh, I guess we only got 5. On the map it feels like we've done half. I guess these areas are a little bit more concentrated right there. We got Thrym's End over here. With our... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Our King of the Storm Giant friends right there. And we got Thrym the Hope Ender, the risen undead storm giant that patrols this area road between the Crystal Song Forest and the Argent Stand, or whatever that outpost is called. Nope, just turn around there. Such a big boss. Similar motto to the one Naxxramas boss from Vanilla, and then also from the Wrath of the Lich King. Or I wonder if they're ever going to introduce Naxxramas again. Show me where I can fly. Connect to those. Thaddeus. But yeah, Thrym's like a scaled up model of Thaddeus, I think. Got some Jakuru Raptor Riders there. Oh, level 74 to my level 69. I'm taking a ton of damage there. We got Jack Thron Keep over here. The first of the 2 dungeons in Zodrak, where we saw Gundrak all the way up here. This is another pretty massive stronghold. I'll just come in here really quickly. Drakthron Keep. You can see the Meeting Stone. Oh! And the instance portal right there. I did not realize I was going to be dismounted. There's like a lot of like... Oh, let's go into stealth. There's a lot of like enclosed areas where you can fly in Cataclysm, and I thought that would be one of them. Okay. I'm so happy I did not get attacked by those raptors over there. Because I was like trying to get out and then go into my flight form, but apparently I wasn't far enough out. But it took me out of stealth to try to put me in flight form, so it was just like a lose-lose situation. Got Light's Breach over here. Danica Saint. And then let's go grab the Argent stand up here. Got a Jakari native, not turned to the Plague of Undeath just yet. Zimbabwe. And then the Argent stand. I love the icons for each of these achievements. But I love the Argent stand. Such a cool area. I think I'm definitely going to do some Grizzly Hills questing on this character. Maybe I'll go do a little Howling Fjord. Probably do some dungeons off stream. Can do some Wrath-Lich King dungeons in the decently far future. So we need Otter of Harkora, Zimtorga, Otter of Quetzloon, and Koramis. Koramis is right there. So let's come up here, loop back around, and then we will have completed our explorations of Zodrak, which is fun. We're flying at 150% movement speed, but it feels a lot faster than that. Like we're zooming across this map. Got pools of Jin Ally, Zimtorga. I can pronounce that one kind of. I'm probably still pronouncing it wrong, knowing me. Thick Hide Pack, 14 slots. I think that's a new item with Cataclysm. Okay, I've connected Gundrak now. Okay. We need to get this area over here. So we have the... Oh, hiccup. We have the Otter here, and then we have Koramos over there. I think this is like the Serpent God or whatever. And then we have like the Panther one. I'm not sure the technical name of the animal. I'll just fly over here to check it out a little. There we go. Prophet of Quetzloon and Quetzloon. Probably pronouncing that wrong. the two themes of this stream is looking at some of the beautiful zones in World of Warcraft and then not pronouncing anything correctly. But one last place left to explore in the entirety of Northrend, and then we'll get our Tabard of the Explorer achievements. Have the Otter of Harkoa here, who is this like tiger-esque, panther-esque, frost saber-esque mob. Harkoa, you will be my salvation, you may yet be my demise. And then the Fallen Necropolis with Malas the Corruptor at the top. And with that, explore Northrend and explore Zuodrak completed. So we completed all those, and if we come into our exploration page here, now have Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, Outland, and Northrend all complete, which means I'm ready for Cataclysm, which should be fun. I need to explore each and every one of these zones. It looks like Twilight Highlands has the most stuff. But let's go ahead, just take a quick moment to fly through Grizzly Hills and Howling Fjord, just to get like a little taste of these zones, because I've explored them a lot in other streams. But we were exploring Nagrand earlier in this stream, and I put the title of this stream, or the VOD if you're watching it as a VOD, as "Is this the most beautiful zone in WoW?" Where Nagrand is most definitely one of the most beautiful zones in World of Warcraft, I think. But in contention, and I would say these zones are more beautiful than Nagrand, for my own opinion, though of course different people have different opinions about all the different zones. But I think in general, like Nagrand is the most beautiful zone in all of the Burning Crusade, and I think the entirety of Northrend is more beautiful than Nagrand. But especially the Howling Fjord and the Grizzly Hills. I've been thinking about that for the last like hour and a half or whatever, since someone asked me about it. Where, I don't know which one I like more, Grizzly Hills or Howling Fjord, from like an aesthetics point of view. Or from a gameplay point of view. I love both of these zones, like questing experiences a lot. But it's just two absolutely gorgeous and beautiful zones. But of course we have Grizzly Hills there, where we have one of the trees. I forget the name, but it's now known as Grizzlemall. It's not Shalad or so. Wow, the great trees. The saplings of the road tree Nordrassil, great tree locations. Tal'Darim and Gilneas. Oh, Andrassil is the name of the tree that became Grizzlemall. And then so it was called Andrassil, and then it became Vordrassil. So Vordrassil means broken crown, and then Andrassil means crown of the snow. But now we have the Howling Fjord. Another very beautiful area with Utgard Keep over yonder in the distance. And I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to explore in this stream. So let's go ahead and hearth back to Stormwind, where I have a very special item awaiting me in the mail. So let's take the Hearthstone to the Trade District. And then let's find the mailbox right around here. And then Brandon the Brownsbeard, you've been around. Well, look at ya. And I thought I had seen some things in this icy place. It seems obvious to this dwarf that you have the fire of the explorer burning in your eyes. Wear this tabard with pride. That way your friends will know who to ask for directions when the time comes. Keep on the move, Brand Brownsbeard. Let's keep this letter as well. where we now have the tabard of the explorer, where we can go ahead and equip this, and it's pretty cool. You got like a nice globe-esque icon on it, but very, very fun. Where I have added this to my appearance collection, where we can see it here, where I don't know how they choose like tabards for the appearance collection and whatnot, because there's like a bunch of other tabards as well in the game. But let's go ahead, clean up my inventory for a moment. Was that a better than what I had? Yeah, slightly better. I guess let's go ahead and equip this. Maybe I'll hold on to this as well. Where I have some stuff I should probably throw onto the trading or the auction house from our adventures this stream. Where I explored, was it a grand total of 4 dungeons, I think, and then I explored a ton of Shadowmoon Valley and a ton more of Nagrand, and then we went around Zuldrak, and we went around the Storm Peaks, and then we kind of checked out the Grizzly Hills and Howling Fjord. I always keep going to this door for whatever reason. And then I flew through like Boiling Tundra, and I flew through Dragonblight and kind of saw Ice Crown, and didn't really see Sholazar Basin at all. Talbot Venison. I could sell this for like 2 gold maybe. Cleft hoof meat. Just quick math. 1 gold. Jago clam meat. Not really worth anything. Might just sell it to a merchant. And then nether weave cloth. Sell this for like 17 gold or something. And 1380. Jago pearl for 7 gold. And then Mote of Air, 2 for 5. And then Rune Cloth, which also sells for like a decent amount of gold. And then maybe I'll get rid of all these scrolls, because I'm probably never going to use them. So let's throw these up here. Or maybe I can just buff random people. There's 2 low level. I have Druid. Anyone else around here? Who are you? Don't think I'm going to be able to use any of these on you. It's the same thing with you. I think you're just a banking character. And I'll just sell the rest. Oops. Let's buff up this priest since they're nearby. God, thank you kindly. That made all my endeavors worth it. But it's nice to have the tabard of the explorer on our persons now.
Can I help you?
And repair all items and sell these.
See you later.
And I missed an item. Shoot. So that. And then let's go over towards the bank. Or I cannot fly into the bank. Have some bankers here.
You need something?
It's like a wanted poster in the background there. Like an orc or something. And then, how about there, there, and there.
See ya.
Okay. I I think my inventory is nice and cleaned up. We're level 69. We have completed the Pharaoh talent tree, which means we can go into balance or restoration. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this stream good here. We're had a lot of fun exploring a bunch of random parts of the game and kind of highlighting some of the beautiful areas in World of Warcraft. And I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water, check your posture, and if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe if you would like. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good night.